The latest Roblox jailbreak update has given us the Crown, a very stylish new vehicle that spawns in front of the mansion. It costs 666,000 J-Bucks. It's a pretty hefty price tag. You might be wondering, is this vehicle worth it? That's what I'm going to try to answer in this video, where I examine several features of the Crown. I'm going to take a look at the top speed, acceleration, looks, customization, and more. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. First, let's take a look at the top speed. Surprisingly, the top speed of this vehicle is actually really good. The top speed maxes out at around 250 miles per hour, which of course is fantastic. However, I noticed it's not easy to reach that top speed, and for me it seems to max out at around 215 miles per hour, which is not bad, but for a car this price it is a little slow. It doesn't have the fantastic acceleration of the Roadster to make up for the less than amazing top speed, so I think the top speed is definitely a knock against it, but to be honest, I wasn't expecting an amazing top speed from this vehicle anyways. Next, let's cover the launch and acceleration of the Crown vehicle. The way I like to test this is by driving the vehicle from one end of the airport runway down to the other. I think this is a good way to measure the instant launch as well as see how good the acceleration is starting to be. Let's go ahead and see how fast it takes to reach the end. As we can see, the car reached the end of the airport runway in 5 seconds and 36 milliseconds. That's definitely really good. Of course, it's nothing compared to the Roadster or one of the Bugattis, but I don't expect the launch to be anything amazing since it's not a hypercar, so this actually surprised me in a good way. It also accelerates rather quickly to 190 miles per hour, but past that it goes up pretty slowly. So I think the acceleration on this vehicle is good, but not great. Next, let's look at the looks of the vehicle. This was a community creation designed by Happy Hongo, who I actually did an interview with recently, and I think he did a really good job. It was clearly based off of a classic Rolls-Royce, and it looks really cool in that regard, and I also like the cool touches that Happy Hongo added to it, like the crown symbol on the hood and the spikes sticking out on the top and at the back. I also think the interior looks really good as well. I like the stuff on the door and I like the dashboard as well as the little insignia from the boss. I definitely think the looks of this vehicle are going to be its biggest selling point. Next, let's talk about customization. This vehicle is honestly kind of limited in terms of customization. It only supports one texture, there's no second texture option. And honestly, that's kind of disappointing to me because I think a second texture would work really well on this vehicle. I think all the gray parts that are on this vehicle kind of stick out in a negative way, except for the grille. I think the grille could stay one color, but everything else I think would look good if there was an option for a second texture or a second body color. That way we could customize this vehicle even further. Of course, it's worth mentioning that this vehicle can't support spoilers, which makes sense due to the back details. It only has two options for interior detail and interior main. I'm pretty sure interior detail just changes the color of the seats, and interior main changes the color of everything else. I don't think there's really too much of a problem in that regard. Overall, the customization on this vehicle is as I expected. However, I do wish that we could change the color of the spikes and the gray stuff on the side. And one more note, I don't think the texture goes on the doors really well. As we can see, the door stands out in a really poor way, and it's not integrated as well as other vehicles with opening and closing doors. Next, I want to talk about a few other things. This is more like miscellaneous stuff that I don't think is really worthy of its own section. Now, the off-roading isn't anything amazing, and this vehicle does have trouble going over like train tracks, so that is a knock against it, but that makes sense because obviously I wouldn't expect this to be a beast at off-roading. Also, gonna be honest, I don't think the engine sound really fits. It's the same sound that's used with the concept car, and I would have preferred if that engine sound did stay unique to the concept car since it's such an expensive vehicle. Though I do kind of understand because it is a classic vehicle, and I don't think the typical jailbreak engine sounds that we have would really fit it. I just wish we had more interesting engine sounds in general. Also, of course, the doors do open and close when the vehicle is stopped and when the player jumps inside. I always think that's pretty cool, but I know some people aren't big fans of that and wish the vehicle doors would always stay closed. And I do find it annoying that this means the texture doesn't look very good on the doors. So, now it's time to wrap everything up. Is the Crown vehicle worth the 666,000 price tag, and should you buy it? In my opinion, if you're a player that's trying to buy all the vehicles and trying to find the best one to suit the amount of money you have, the answer is no. I don't think you should buy this one. You should either save for something that's more expensive but really good, like the Volt bike or the drone, or you should buy something like the Bugatti or the Roadster, as those are much more suited for the jailbreak gameplay that you're probably going to encounter more frequently. However, again, that doesn't really surprise me considering that this vehicle is more about the looks than the stats. And in that regard, I think it shines really well. If you want a unique vehicle to drive around and something to just look really stylish in, then I think you'll really enjoy this one. Just be ready to put down a good amount of money for it, as it's not cheap. But those are my thoughts on the brand new Crown vehicle. What do you think? Have you bought the vehicle already? Are you going to buy it? Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you liked this review and want to see more jailbreak content, please make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.